Sarra Sounds Off is brought to you by Roll Up Awnings.
This week's episode of Sarra Sounds Off will focus on a very important issue, the shortage of officials. And that's a shortage across the board in all sports. It's really been an alarming issue across the board. Middle school sports, they have no officials basically until the end of their season. So what one umpiring group has done is they've gone out and they've recruited younger officials. Some guys are just out of high school. It's an interesting issue. Joining us now on Sarra Sounds Off is Brian Frescona. He is now the newly minted umpire in Section 11, a varsity umpire, and it's 1 year removed from graduating from Patchogue Medford High School, but we are in a shortage of officials, and we are bringing in a new breed, a younger breed of umpires. And Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, it is my pleasure. I have to ask you, so you're a catcher, 4 years on the varsity at Patchogue Medford, outstanding player, and you're now in college, and you say, you know what, I really want to be an umpire. Why?
I always have been drawn to officiating and being an official. I always used to copy a guy, Charlie Norton, behind the Pat Med dish when I was a real young kid. And I knew that I wasn't going to be playing baseball in college, but I knew I wanted to still be in the game. And I thought this was the perfect step for me to go.
Would you describe most officials as people who love the game?
I would have to say the good officials are guys that love being around the game of baseball. You definitely have to have a sense of what the game is doing, where it's going, and how you can be on top of what's going to happen next.
How important is it being confident?
You have to sell every call you make. If you're not out there believing in what call you made, coaches don't believe you, players don't believe you, and that's when it really starts to go crazy.
You're constantly learning, right? It's just something that you don't know everything when you first go out there.
No, you can't know everything. There's so much going on when you're an official, and I started with LIBUO, and we trained in the classroom, then on the field, and then at every game that I started out on, we'd have our two instructors there, and they were giving us on-field critique after the game, before the game.
Have you had any cringe-worthy experiences with varsity baseball where you're like, wow, what do I do here? You know what to do, but you're trying to avoid an ejection or a warning, or is that just something that you just have to deal with?
I think it's something you have to deal with as being, the rookie there. You don't have all the experience that some of these older guys definitely have, and there's some plays that are little nuances of the rule book that we might not know, and once you have them, you get back into the rule book and you figure out what to do next time. It's definitely pressure. You definitely feel it, especially those games that mean a lot. You get into the playoffs. You feel it from the fans, you feel it from the players coming out. You walk on the field, they're amped up, and you know that every call, the eyes go to you, and you have to just be cool and confident about what you're calling and know that your mechanics are right. Being a catcher, I had the relationships with the few guys that came back to Pat Med a bunch of times, and we always had the best games because I had that relationship. But then moving up to be the umpire behind the catcher in the slot, making that connection is like your right-hand guy. He's your first guy that, you're working with him the whole game as much as you're working with your partner in the field.
Safe!
It's all about being confident.
Well, keep doing a great job. Thanks.
Thank you.
Joining us now, Kevin Rourke of West Babylon High School, another former baseball player. Welcome to the show.
Greg, it's an honor to be here.
You were a West Babylon ball player, and during that horrific car accident that took the lives of two young people, and one of the survivors was Anthony Pagliuca, who you were very good friends with, that you knew, right? And you wanted to do the game that was a tribute to him and to his survival. Take me through that and umpiring that game and how emotional it was.
Yeah, so I got the call from Section to immediately my answer was yes, because that's a game that was so special to me. Knowing Anthony, knowing his two brothers for so long, knowing the people that were in that car accident.
So I've been told that you have a very young look when you walk up to the field, and that there are times where people see a young umpire and they might be like, oh boy, we have a newbie here, how could he be good? Do you take that as a challenge, like I'm going to show them how good I am?
Yes and no. I mean, obviously I'm going to do the same job, whatever level I'm working, whether it be an 8U game or a varsity game. But to gain the respect and the trust of these coaches, I'll have to work twice as hard, especially if it's the coach that really knows the game in and out.
Tell me about your first ejection, because I thought that was incredible.
Yeah, so my first ever varsity baseball game, my first ever regular season school game, a kid hits a home run. You know, everyone knows the home run hats, the home run chains, the props. It's all over television, on MLB. Some kid from the dugout brings out this giant red hat, puts it on the kid who hit a home run. I catch the tail end of it, so I'm like, I have to do something here. So I call the offensive head coach over and said, I need whoever brought that hat out, and I need him gone.
So the coach had to pick a kid that had to be thrown out of the game.
Yes, and to kind of give him a kick in the shin, I was like, if you don't pick someone, it's you.
That there are times where you are at the field and you have a great effort and you're walking off and somebody says something that isn't exactly what you thought they might think. Does that hurt a little bit, or do you just eat it and walk away, or do you say to yourself, wow, what could they be upset with?
Us as umpires, we're our toughest critics. We know exactly what we got right, what we got wrong, what we did right, what we did wrong, what we can improve on, how we handled situations. We can't let a biased fan be our definitive evaluation.
Having pride and having passion in any job is super important. I can see you have all that. Great job.
Thank you, Gregg.
Joining us now, Aiden Russo of William Floyd High School, now the youngest umpire, pretty much, in Long Island, 18 years old. You were a catcher last year, similar to Brian Fresconi. You were playing last year, now you're umpiring guys on the varsity this year.
Yeah.
How many varsity games did you do this year?
I did 32 total. I had really good training. It's a lot thrown at you at once, but I picked it up quick and I just stuck with it.
And is that one of the things that drew you to umpiring, is the fact that you can make so much money?
I mean, yeah, I started when I was 16, so since then, at that point in my life, that money's great. You're not working for minimum wage, the pay is great, you work whenever you want. That ranges from, I think it's $70 now to $90, depending from 8U to varsity.
That's outstanding. Is there time limits on the games?
Yes, 2 hours.
Fantastic. Yeah. And then with the Section 11 umpiring, what do you guys get a game, a varsity game?
Varsity's $139.
Yeah, so who wouldn't want to umpire?
Yeah.
When you walk up to the field and you have your assignment, are you hoping that you have the plate and not the field? Is it more exciting?
Depending who you work with too. Like there's a lot of times where I work with very good umpires, and then when I walk up to the field, the coaches are a little disappointed that I'm doing the plate instead of these very good umpires.
Feel that?
That's what I do feel sometimes. But it's just something you look past, and then after the game is over, then you let them decide again.
You got drilled a few times this year.
Yes.
What's that like?
It's something you don't look forward to, but
Worst one?
I had one game, it was a couple weeks ago, and the catcher just completely whiffed, and it just got
fastball?
me. Yes, and it just got me straight in the face. But
do you take time out when that happens and just try to walk it off?
just try to brush it off. Yeah, that's the best you could do.
What would you tell prospective umpires, younger guys, that it's worth it, that it's great?
100%. At this age, it's the best thing you could do. If you love the game and you're into it, it's for the money, the time, everything you do. There's just no reason not to.
So now you're in college.
Yes.
You're balancing school. Also, all three young guys are. Where are you in school?
I'm at Farmingdale.
Farmingdale. And what are you studying?
Business management.
All right, so maybe you'll be running your own umpire association in the near future, right?
One day.
Great job.
All right, thank you.
Joining us now, Bill Ambrosini, the co-owner of the LIBUO, and their enthusiasm is unbelievable for young guys in a new job. And you guys have done a phenomenal job of getting people to be interested in officiating in a time where there's a shortage.
Yes, it's a challenge. These guys took to it very quickly. We train a lot. We train hard, and we have a pipeline of kids, that started 14, 15 years old that are going to be making their way up soon. These guys got there quicker. The shortage of umpiring right now, like you would never see 3 guys who just left high school last year working varsity games for high school. We need guys to give back to the game. The hundreds of players that are leaving, come back to umpiring, learn how to officiate, learn how to make money, doing something you love. And that's what we're trying to promote. And that's what we need to keep, to get officiating going. If they're trained correctly, and our guys are, the The screaming on the sidelines is minimal. You know, you're trained to close your ears off, don't engage with parents, do your job, close all that stuff off. We try to give them confidence as we're training them and, you know, keep pushing them up, all positive, nothing negative, and to give them that confidence in the beginning, give them that authority in the beginning and teach them that they can do this. And it resonates with a lot of the young kids because they gain that confidence, and it doesn't just take you to the baseball field, it takes you off the baseball field to the other things that you're going to do. Now, can everybody be successful? We can give them the tools to be in the right position, but we can't give them the judgment. That they're going to do on their own. And the best way we can help them with that is to train them correctly. And that's what we do. Our biggest concern was insulating our young guys. You know, especially our 13-year-olds, 13, 14, 15s that are starting at the younger divisions. What the town does, and we made sure of this, they protect these kids by having the supervisor on the field. And if a parent does get out of control, they're going to walk over to them, hey, you either calm down or you have to leave.
So think about that. If we don't have officials, good, bad, or indifferent, we don't have high school sports. I'm Gregg Sarra, and I'm sounding off.